Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jeremy and JP, not from the usual spot on Nonsuch Island, just across the water about a quarter of a mile away, but from one of the other Cahal nesting islands, Horn Rock. We are on here for a very special reason, and we're doing a pre-Easter check. This is the only island that has more nesting pairs than Nonsuch Island does now. So we are going to be checking out some of Bermuda's own Easter bunny, our own unique Easter bunny, and that is the Cahal chicks, which are some of the softest, fluffiest things that you'll ever see anywhere. And believe me, sometimes it feels like you're picking up a little cloud or a little puff of cloud or something. They're so fluffy. Adorable at this stage. They're still at their extremely cute, small to mid-size fluffball stage. So we're going to take a look, and you can see this chick is quite big already. He's getting up there, or she is getting up there in size. It's about a third fledged now. It's just about a month old at this point, the older Cahal chicks. So, they will triple in size from this in the next month. They reach their maximum weight. Some of these birds are reaching 200 to, I think we had our first 300 gram chick over on Nonsuch yesterday. So some of them are getting to that size, but they'll peak out at 400 to 500 grams. A couple even get up to 600 plus grams, which is considerably heavier than the adults. Okay, so this is our littlest, or our smallest bunny so far. This is a Cahal chick from nest number F6. Yeah, and he's only about 135 grams. It's a bit younger than the other ones, but growing well. They can catch up well, so great. Okay, so we've moved up the hill a bit to nest number F7. And this is most likely one of the older chicks on this part of the island, so it's probably going to be one of the biggest ones as well. So we'll see. Oh yeah, and he is looking rather big. Yeah. And he feels like he's been fed fairly recently, certainly in the last 2 or 3 nights. Very laid back. They always tend to be a little bit more content and a little bit more placid when their tummies are full, and anybody that's had young children can certainly sympathize with that. The babies are always happier when they've got a full tummy. Okay, so he is a cute one, isn't he? Yeah. Very curious too. He's just looking around, taking stock of his surroundings. This is the recently fed chick from nest number F8, which is the last of the ones on this northward facing slope of Horn Rock. Yeah. Hi there. Yeah. Oh my gracious. Ow, ow! It's actually biting, which is unusual for a Cahal chick. And usually as chicks they don't hurt, but he actually managed to sting a little bit. Yeah. So you can see this is the difference that just a week or two extra growth makes. This one hatched way before all of the other chicks in here, and you can see he's not even a handful anymore. He's a double handful. He could fall off of one hand. But yeah, he's much bigger. It doesn't feel like he's been fed recently, but he's still going to be a pretty impressive weight. And the wings are no doubt, quite a bit longer than the ones we've been seeing so far. Let's see if I can encourage him. Yeah, there's so much. Look at that. The wing length is so much bigger than it was for any of the other chicks we've seen. So this is the biggest and oldest of our Bermuda Easter bunnies here on Horn Rock, Castle Harbor, Bermuda. They're looking really good. And knock on wood, this island looks like it's having, one of its better years. It's a lot of chicks. Certainly better. Last year wasn't a particularly good year at all. I think the total number of chicks on this island was less than Nonsuch. It was only about 21 chicks. And so far, the numbers I'm getting for this island, somewhere between 27 and 29 chicks, which may be a record. I don't think we've ever broken 30 chicks on any one island yet. This will be the first one it happens on, but hopefully in a few years, Nonsuch will be in a position to take that honor as well. This is another one. He feels like he was fed last night for sure. He feels his smaller chick, but he feels like a water balloon. His stomach is just so full and distended. These are the ones that often will excrete after you pick them up, so I'll have to watch that. Yeah. So it's a lovely little chick as well. It's another very good pair in this nest. They've produced a lot of chicks over the year. It's rare for them to fail, and so yeah, it's nice to see they've produced another one and are feeding him well. You know, he feels quite heavy for his size. He's quite a bit younger than the one we just saw, but yeah, he feels pretty heavy at this point. Okay. Doesn't like going in the bag. Just the chick alone, but the chick has grown quite a bit since I saw him last. And he's been recently fed. Very recently fed. It's got that water balloon feel. Yeah. It's okay, sweetie. I think I just woke him up. Yeah, he's just waking up now. Yeah. And he's taken after his father. His father is the male bird from this nest is a very, very highly aggressive bird that usually draws blood every time I handle it. And the chick is quite aggressive, which not many of the chicks are. So he's a Easter bunny with attitude, I think you could call him. Definitely got attitude. But he was fast asleep at first. And that's why, as he's coming awake, he's just he's looking all around him there. Yeah, it always blows my mind. Just they almost sit there with their bills slightly parted, looking out at the ocean. You know, it's the first time they've seen it when we take them out for these weight checks, these growth checks. You know, it's 42 millimeter. Okay, great. Okay, sweetie. So this is the Cahal chick from nest number C21. C21, and he's quite a gregarious little guy. Yeah, he's much more alert and interested in his surroundings, and probably for just getting out of my hands than most of the chicks that just sit there, you know. Yeah, so it's the chick from the Horn Rock C13 nest. Yeah, you can see the feet are almost full size on it already, the legs and such. And in the next 3 to 4 weeks, they will reach adult size. That's how we can band them when they're still like only about 2 months old, because their legs and feet are the first part of their body that, you know, reach adult size and stop growing at that point. And that's so that they can be mobile in the nest. And so this is like a Cahal chick from C8 nest, which is, like I say, one of the older nests. There was a time when I first started coming out here, there were only about maybe 5 active nests in this whole complex. There's over 30 now, which shows how much the population has increased. But this was one of the 5 original nests that was active. And at least one of the adults is still the original adult that now would be close to 30 years old. So, small chick, but one that feels a gang, like this is the 3rd chick in a row. Feels like it was fed just in the last night or two. It's quite fat for its size. This was one of the later hatching chicks on the island, C5. It's always a lovely bird. This is, again, a very productive pair. And I've moved a number of chicks from this back in the early 2000s to Nonsuch from this nest as part of the translocation project, of which at least one did return and is nesting on none such now at the A colony. So yeah, it's really neat how you know, some of these nests here have helped to kickstart the return of the Cahal to Nonsuch Island after nearly 400 years, you know. So this is the smallest and youngest of our Horn Rock Easter bunnies, our Bermuda Easter bunnies. Yeah, it's doing well, but it's got a really good pair of parents to take care of him, and it feels like he was fed just in the last couple of nights. So much younger bird than most of them. You can see because even the wings are much shorter than most of the chicks we've been seeing. Okay, so put him back into his very deep nest. Oh, can barely reach the bottom. Boy, it's one of the biggest chicks so far. This nest is surrounded by prickly pears. I've just stuck myself 3 times just getting into position for it. And in the middle of all of this is this beautiful little fuzzy sort of Easter bunny that is here in the C26 nest, a nest sort of by itself out here. We did it. Now, when I built this nest in 2003, there was none of this prickly pear around it. This has all grown up since, which is really good for, you know, the native plant cover on this island. But it's really bad when you're trying to monitor these seabirds that are nesting right in the middle of them. It doesn't seem to bother the birds. I've seen adult Cahals land right on top of these bunches there, and then when you check them later on, when you get them in hand, there's no sign of any thorns or prickles that have gotten wedged in them at all. I think their plumage just is a good repellent. It's insane. I don't know how they do it, but you know, somehow they do, thank goodness. But this is one that I don't want the chick to get dislodged. And it's a very quiet, very placid chick in comparison to the one we were just handling. You see, he's just looking around him. And he feels quite heavy. So he feels like he just christened me. I was just going to say he feels like he was just fed, and he just confirmed it by pooping out all the excess moisture all over my shirt and my pants, which I know what I'm going to be doing this afternoon when I get back home. I'm going to be washing all my clothes because the smell, they do have a rather strong smell to them. So, well, it wouldn't be a proper check without being pooped on at least 2 or 3 times. And, you know, this goes with the territory, as they say. If you're going to be a seabird biologist, you can't mind being bitten, you can't mind climbing cliffs and getting stuck by thorns and being pooped on copiously by various types of seabirds. So it's just, it's like getting your scars. You wear your scars with pride. I guess you could say you wear your poop with pride as well. Okay, so this nest here is kind of a special one for me and for the Cahal population as a whole. This is number C22 on Horn Rock, and it probably has contributed more chicks for both translocations, both the A and the B colony translocations, than any other single nest on you know, in the entire population on all 4 of the original nesting islands. And that's because these birds just had a tendency there for about 20 years. They were packing out chick after chick after chick. Maybe once every 7 years or so they'd miss they'd have a failure. But they have a real history of producing very strong, heavy, vigorous chicks that are among the biggest and heaviest of the whole cohort group of chicks for that year in the entire population. And this nest has produced several birds we're familiar with from Nonsuch Island. Samson originated as a chick from this nest in 2005, I believe. And then the male bird from the R835 nest on Nonsuch Island, the one that produced the miracle chick last year, that the egg had been terribly cracked and the chick still hatched and survived and hatched from it after we basically stuck it together with 5 or 6 layers of nail polish. That came from there. But I believe, if memory serves, at least 4 chicks for the A colony translocation project came from this nest, and at least 4 from the A colony, and at least 3 from the B colony one. So at least 7 or 8 chicks from this nest went to Nonsuch, to the 2 different colonies, and of those, the majority have returned. We have 1 female that ended up going out to Green Island within sight here, one of the other nesting colony islands from this nest. We have another, which one is it? It is the male bird, I believe, from the C8 nest, which has a chick in it this year at the bee colony, also originated from this nest. And another bird, a female bird, also is nesting on Nonsuch, I believe, on, I'm not sure if it's the A or the B. It's one of them. So at least 5, I have to think here, 4 or 5 chicks that were moved to Nonsuch from this nest returned, almost 100% of them returned and are nesting on Nonsuch, and 1 ended up on Green Island there nesting and supplementing that population. So it is a very special nest. It has probably done more to establish those new colonies than any other single nest in the entire population. So they're real champions. And the amazing thing is that the birds, the original pair, is still together. And that was how we identified last year that Samson was in fact the father of the chick and everything. In the Who's the Daddy saga, that he did end up being the proper father. And we were able to tell that because we had taken a blood sample from his father, Samson's father, the male bird that occupies this nest. So this is Samson's direct brother or sister, this chick now, if it's, still alive, which it most certainly is, and growing well. They're taking care of this chick just as well as they've taken care of every other chick they've ever raised. I mean, this was by no means the first chick to hatch. It actually hatched fairly late, and look at him, he's pretty big already, you can tell, and a pretty good weight. So yeah, this is Samson's like extended sibling, basically, the new, the 2026 edition, I guess you could call it. Pretty amazing, story for this nest. And the fact that the pair was already nesting when I banded them as adults in this nest back in 2005, I believe it was. We were just figuring it out. And this is the sibling of Samson, same parents, but born 21 years later, but from the same nest, the same 2 parents and everything. So a 21-year younger sibling of Samson is saying, "Who you calling a baby?" Huh? He's actually turned around to look at me. He's shown a lot of self-awareness, probably trying to figure out where the loud voice is coming from. Anyway, let's put him back in the nest. I'm really, really super happy to see he's doing well. So this is the last of the Cahao Easter bunnies that we have here from nest number C12. And this makes, and he just christened me and my book again. I was just going to say he feels like he's just been fed, and he confirmed it. Easter bunnies were never so messy. But this makes 21 chicks that we've checked today. We had 1 loss and everything from C10, I believe it was, but all the rest are looking great. Most of them have been fed. We found 2 adults that had stayed over for feeding visits last night. So that makes a full quiver of very healthy little Cahao chicks, Bermuda Easter bunnies. So from JP and Jeremy Medeiros on Horn Rock, Bermuda, everybody have a beautiful and blessed Easter, Good Friday, and the whole Easter period and everything. And hopefully everybody will get together with families and, go to church and have lots of fish cakes and hot cross buns and all the rest of it. Everybody have a great Easter from us all out here at Nonsuch Island and Nonsuch Expeditions, Bermuda. Look at that. It's a beauty. He certainly sprayed me. Boy, I'm definitely going to be washing clothes tonight. It's okay, sweetie. Come on. I know you don't want to go in the bag, monster, but you've got to go. I've got to weigh you, sweets. Yeah. This is